Hi everyone, it's my turn to share today's devotional with you. Let's quickly turn to Luke chapter 22. If you have your Bibles, turn to Luke 22 with me. Let's read from verse 24. Now, before I read from verse 24, the passage before that, okay, Luke 22, is talking about Jesus partaking of the Holy Communion with his disciples. Right? He's instituting the sacraments with them. And so after they have taken the communion, then in verse 24 it says, a dispute also rose among them as to which of them was considered to be the greatest. Jesus said to them, the kings of the Gentiles lord it over them, and those who exercise authority over them call themselves benefactors. But you are not to be like that, Jesus told his disciples. Instead, the greatest among you should be like the youngest, and the one who rules like the one who serves. For who is greater, the one who is at the table or the one who serves? Is it not the one who is at the table? But I am among you as one who serves. You are those who have stood by me in my trials, and I confer on you a kingdom, just as my Father conferred one on me, so that you may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, as I look at this passage, one thing that just came across for me is this, there's a question, who is the greatest? Who is the greater? The one who serves or the one who's at the table? In this world, sometimes we get all the question, to get the answer wrong to this question. Many people think that position is what makes a person great. The higher the position, the higher the honor. If you are at the table, it means that you are somebody. You are associated with people who are at the table, especially the so-called VIP table, whatever it is. So you are somebody. And it's a place of honor, right? And so it must be greater than others. So people will jostle, for position, and then they want to be respected. They want to be seen with people of higher positions, so that their social status will become higher. It can rise higher. So in this world, it's always been about positions, about level, and lording over others in order to be successful and great. But not in Jesus' kingdom. This passage really reminds us, Jesus is putting up so clearly to us that the person who is great is not the one that's at the table, but the one who is serving. Jesus also, he at one of the questions he asked, who is the greater one? And he said, is it not at the table? I mean, this is like telling, oh, it's supposed to be, it should be. That's what the world thinks, or that's what many of them think even. But contrary, Jesus said, oh, for your information, I'm not at the table. I am the one who is actually serving. And so Jesus is teaching them, what is really great to him. Great to him is not to be at the table, but to be great to him is really about serving. Great is about serving. Now, if you can serve and serve willingly, then you are a great person in God's eyes. And not many can do this well because it's so contrary to what we have been brought up or what we've been exposed to. The world tells us, you got to be sitting at a table, having a position, an office, and then that's where you are great. But this is against what Jesus is teaching. It's not the same. The world will say, it's not. That is not, to be a servant is not great. It's degrading, even considered weak as well. When we look at people who are waiters, even street cleaners, things like that. Very often the world look upon them, with hardly any regard, some can even be despised of, discriminated against, looked down upon, and you don't want to be associated with them. But Jesus says, no, not like that. The one who is serving, that is the greater one, rather than the one that's at the table. Why or how to be a servant? Why be a servant? To be a servant is really about being humble, humility. We need to bring ourselves in a position where we are humble before others. That's why we are willing to serve. There also need to be a love for others. When we are serving, there has to be a love for others. If otherwise, you won't be serving. You shouldn't be serving if there's no love for others. Servants are also selfless. They think beyond themselves. They don't think about themselves, but they think about the comfort of others. What will benefit others. So it's very selfless. And at the same time, those who serve are very helpful. So we're always looking out to help people, help others, so that their needs are met, and their things are taken care of for them. So this passage really reminds me, once again, do I want to be at a table, or do I want to be serving? If I want to be like Jesus, you want to be on Jesus' side, then I don't want to be at the table. But I rather be at a position where I can serve, where I can be serving others. So this is a question for us, today. Are you at the table, or are you the one serving? All right, perhaps let's think about how we can serve, others with whatever God has given us or whatever God has called us to, especially during this time. I'm sure we can think about ways, that we can actually serving others, whether it's in some ways to see to their needs, or in other ways, to encourage them with the word, to help whenever we could. All right, so I hope this is just a simple word, that I hope it can be of value to you. And let's think through whether we want to be at the table or the one serving. All right, so thank you. Have a wonderful day ahead. God bless.